Hey guys, Angry Beast here bringing you some Gotham City Imposters gameplay on the map, I believe, Amusement Mile. This is just some Partisan and Gatekeeper gameplay I got while playing some Psych Warfare. This is a really fun game mode. At first I wasn't too sure about it. I was getting constantly owned by snipers and stuff, but as I start to learn the maps more, I realized this is one of the best maps in the game. I get frozen by the deep freeze there. That's pretty embarrassing, but as I've started to learn this game mode, some of my best gameplays have gotten on this map, so expect some really amazing scores with the sneak class I built the other day. The way to play Psych Warfare, in my opinion, at least for the way I like to play the game, is I like to be the Slayer role. I like to be the head-on person who's going to kill them all, get a couple guys, duck under cover, and allow my teammates to sneak into their base without them knowing because they're too worried about me. It doesn't always work out, and a lot of times I get in situations like this where I got half health and 3 or 4 guys chasing me, and I don't know what to do, but most of the time it ends up being that we can end up planting the, what are they called, the battery, and we can get the win. So, kills are very important in this game mode, but overall, the game mode is about getting the objective. I don't think I plant or defuse any bombs in this game because it really isn't necessary. My teammates were pushing the plants really hard, so I felt like I didn't need to push up there and help my teammates with the plants if they're already doing that. I can basically just cover them and they can do what they need to do better. But in this game, I want to continue on the trend of talking about Black Ops 2 over some Gotham City Imposters gameplay. And today, I really want to talk about weapons in Black Ops 2. The one thing I'd really like to see in Black Ops 2 weapon is weapon balanced. I feel like for the most part they got that right in Black Ops, but a couple of exceptions to that rule made it to the point where the game was almost unplayable in certain situations. If you weren't using the best guns in the game, it was almost impossible to get any kills. Take, for instance, the FAMAS. The FAMAS fired at 937 rounds per minute, and was a 3-hit kill up close and a 4-hit kill at a distance. Now, you also had the AK-47, which did 3 or 4 hit kills at all ranges with a 750 round per minute fire rate. So, in any situation you were likely to be in, the FAMAS would kill faster than the AK-47, except for maybe long range or mid range where the AK-47 had a little bit more range. And I really wish that they didn't have weapons that were overall I'll kill faster than you at any range if I'm on target guns. I'd much prefer it to be where I use this gun and I'll be better at close range, but at long range I have a little bit of a disadvantage. One way I think they really could have balanced the FAMAS and AUG is make it so that the FAMAS did 30 to 25 damage, making it a 4-hit kill at all ranges, and make the AUG a 35 to 20 damage, making it a 3 to 5 hit kill. And I think that would really balance out the high fire rate for either consistency, where it wouldn't be affected by the suppressor with the FAMAS, or you could use the AUG, which was really effective up close, but at distance it suffered. I don't know. Another thing that I'd like to see change is the submachine guns. In Black Ops 1, or we'll just call it Black Ops, I suppose, there really wasn't too much balance between the submachine guns. You had 2 classes of submachine guns. You had the low fire rate, high damage submachine guns, and high fire rate, low damage submachine guns. There was nothing really in between. The problem with that is that the low damage submachine guns had 4 hits to kill up close, and when you need to fire 4 hits on target at 1,000 rounds per minute in order to get a kill, and you have the FAMAS on the other hand, which fires just slightly slower than 1,000 rounds per minute and takes 3 hits to kill up close, there wasn't much advantage to using any of the low damage submachine guns in the game, especially considering half of the low damage submachine guns did only had a 20 round capacity. It didn't leave too much room for experimentation in the submachine gun category. There were basically 2 submachine guns in the game that were usable as far as damage goes. I'm not talking about usability as far as recoil, but as far as time to kill, there were basically 2 submachine guns that were reliable up close, and those were the MP5 and the AK-74U. And the AK-74U pretty much outclassed the MP5 in every way possible, and that's a problem. When you got 2 guns that do high damage up close, but the one is basically better than the other in every possible way, it doesn't make much sense. I don't know what they were thinking, because the AK-74U reloads faster. The AK-74U has less recoil. The AK-74U has better swap times. It just, some things about Black Ops really weren't well thought through, and I hope that in Black Ops 2 they can really think through some of these things and put a little bit of playtime with each gun faced up against every other weapon in the game, just to get a feel for it before the game is released, so there doesn't have to be huge patches that alter the effectiveness of a weapon post-release. Now, one thing I will caution, though, is that certain submachine guns that were low damage were not completely unusable. You have the PM63, which was extremely affected by rapid fire. If you put rapid fire on the PM63, instead of going up to the usual 1,250 rounds per minute, I believe it actually went up to 1,600 rounds per minute, which made it extremely effective up close, and it had one of the fastest time to kills in the entire game. So I will say that that weapon in particular is actually usable as far as a submachine gun if you put rapid fire on it for being a 4-hit kill up close. So if you have a gun that has extremely high rate of fire for a low recoil and low damage, it's one thing. Like if you have a weapon that fires 1,500 rounds per minute and is a 4-hit kill up close, that's okay. I could live with that. Just because you can get those bullets on target so much faster than everybody else, it doesn't make too much of a difference on how low your damage is. The problem becomes when every low damage submachine gun is like that. When you have the Mach 11, which has pretty low recoil, but it shoots at 1,000 rounds per minute, and rapid fire only takes it up to 1,250 rounds per minute, why should I use that over a weapon like the PM63, which has a shorter reload time, and it has better swap times? Other than the attachments, there really isn't too much of a big deal. And that's another thing I want to talk about. Attachments, please, Treyarch, let every submachine gun be able to equip a suppressor. I do not care if in real life my PM63 cannot have a suppressor. In game, I want it to be able to be silenced. I shouldn't have to suffer through not having certain attachments like a red dot sight. I should be able to have a red dot sight if I want to have a red dot sight on a weapon. Simply because it can't have that sight in real life doesn't mean that in the game it can't have a red dot sight. One point in case would be the F2000 from Modern Warfare 2. You cannot equip an M203 grenade launcher onto the F2000 in real life. It is physically incapable of it. But guess what? They put an M203 in Infinity Ward. No one complained about it. I don't care about realism on guns. I just want my guns to be able to act like every other weapon. I don't mind if an attachment looks different, but it should at least have the ability to function the same way. I don't know. Shotguns are an interesting topic because in Black Ops, shotguns were usable, but they definitely weren't on the level of Modern Warfare 2 shotguns, and they didn't get too much hate for it, but I really wish that they brought shotguns up a little bit more from what they were in Black Ops. I think the perfect level for shotguns as a primary weapon would be what they were in Modern Warfare 2. If I had a SPAS 12 without stopping power as a primary weapon in Modern Warfare 2, I would be happy. I wouldn't really care that I don't have stopping power if I could have that as a primary weapon, but because they seem to think that shotguns as primary weapons should be worse than shotguns as secondary weapons, it seems like they don't actually play the games and actually use these weapons, at least on the connections that we play on. Shotguns are extremely connection dependent. If you don't have a good connection with a shotgun, it's very, very difficult to use. So, in some ways, it's hard for them to test whether a shotgun is balanced because of how random they are by nature. But you'd think that they'd at least have the numbers up to what they were in Modern Warfare 2. I don't know. As far as sniper rifles are concerned, I go back and forth on whether I like the Modern Warfare 2 style sniper or the Black Ops style sniper. In some situations, I think the Modern Warfare 2 style sniper is better. It's easier to use and it's more rewarding. It's a little bit less rewarding, but it's easier to use and it's more consistent. Whereas the Black Ops style sniper is less frustrating when you're sniped by someone, and it's a little bit more rewarding when you do get killed. The only problem with that is it's so hard to get kills. It gets to the point where it's like, okay, I shot at you, but I didn't aim down sight for long enough, so my gun misses you 3 feet to the left. If one thing I could say about snipers is that they should be consistent. To be perfectly honest, I don't care if I can have quick draw on my sniper rifle and have it aimed down sight. 25 or 50% faster. I don't care about that. If the sniper rifles worked how they should, if you aimed on sight and that's where they are shooting, then it should be fine. I don't care if I can't have sleight of hand. Sleight of hand isn't necessary when my bullets go where they're supposed to be. Call of Duty 4 sniping was good. You aimed and where you shot is where it went. Except for the M48 cog, there wasn't too many problems with sniping in Call of Duty 4. I was never ridiculously quick-scoped across the map, and at the same token, I didn't miss 50 shots that were directly on target because I didn't aim on sight in the right time. Now, I realize realism isn't all that Call of Duty goes for, and in some ways, it seems like realism isn't the best way to do it. I mean, sniping in and of itself is not realistic as it is. But in some cases, I'd like to see more realism in Call of Duty. Frag grenades need to kill to a larger radius than what they are in Modern Warfare 3. As it is right now, it's extremely difficult to get a frag grenade kill in Modern Warfare 3. I believe the lethal radius of frag grenade is 2.5 meters, and considering you could jump 3 meters, it doesn't make any sense to use a frag over, say, a Semtex or whatever, because this frag has less radius and less lethal radius than the Semtex. It seems like some things got overlooked in Modern Warfare 3. And especially as far as explosives are concerned, if they have flak jacket to the point where it was in Black Ops, then I don't think there'll be any problem having frags up to what they were in Black Ops. The only problem with explosives in Modern Warfare 3 is that Blast Shield is so weak, they had to make the explosives weak in order to say they nerfed explosives other than just adding Blast Shield, because Blast Shield doesn't seem to do much in Modern Warfare 3, at least for me. But for some people, I've heard it makes a big difference, but in my experiences, Blast Shield doesn't do too much. I'll take Quick Draw over it every day of the week, mainly because if I can aim down sights faster, I have that advantage in head-on-head combat that I don't have with Blast Shield. Blast Shield is very situational, and if I can use that in combination with something like Quick Draw, that would be awesome. But since you can't, you're in a little bit of a hole. This ends up being a 20 and 11, I believe, with the Partisan and the Gatekeeper. I hope you guys did enjoy. I am Angry Beast, and I am signing out.